Hi, I'm Kyle, and this is a message for May 2023. In movies where there's a bad guy, often near the end of the movie, the bad guy gets caught. And when the bad guy gets caught, their power goes away. They're seen, they're exposed, there's light on who they truly are. And often when that happens, in their last minute attempt to save themselves, they get louder. They yell something like, seize him. And even the bad guys that assist that bad guy don't do anything. And they're, and then they either die or get arrested or whatever else. That's how it works. That when something is seen, it gets louder, but it's dying at the same time. And the ego works the same way as the bad guy in a movie. As you're doing this work, aspects of our egoic self are breaking off of us. And even though they seem louder, they're dying at the same time. And one of the biggest aspects of the ego that I see as totally dying is the should aspect. There's an aspect in us where we say, what should I do about? What should I do in this situation? What should I do? And that should is implying what someone else thinks that's the best thing for me to do, or what my childhood conditioning thinks, or what society says, or anything else like that. And that should seems louder in this time. You can see people and you probably feel it in yourself. Like, what should I do about this situation? What should I do about this? And there's all these feelings of what should I do? What do I do? In fact, you'll even have opposing shoulds in the same moment. Should I go this way or should I go this way? And no matter which one you pick, you might pick a way. And maybe in a couple hours, you change your mind because that should wasn't right. That should wasn't you, right? Because that should isn't you and it's not a part of you. And it's breaking off in this time. All shoulds are conditioning, right? So the patterns that you learned from other people or what you had to become to protect yourself in your childhood is where the should came from. What should I do so dad doesn't yell at me? What should I do so mom doesn't whatever abandon me or shame me or whatever else, right? So the should aspect used to be just much more of a part of us, but now it's breaking off and we're getting more here. But because it's breaking off, it's louder. So we have these aspects of ourselves. Should I do this? Should I do this? Should I do this? And one of the things that you'll see is that if you start to become more present and not follow a specific should, right? Just watch, I should do this to fix this circumstance. I should do this to whatever, manipulate the situation. I should do this to make sure I'm seen, right? If you don't follow it and let the should just keep yelling, but you just sit here, the should is going to fall off faster and faster and faster. And I believe that's something that's happening in May and upcoming months in the summer, right? Our should is falling off. And if it does, you're going to be more here. And if you're more here and you have less and less shoulds in your body and less of the energy in your body that created the shoulds in the first place, what you're going to feel is total freedom. And in that freedom, you're going to switch from being kind of a hybrid of your highest calling and the old energy of should to full on adventure, joy, risk. And by risk, I don't mean necessarily risking your life, but you could be leaving the old patterns of should by stepping into something better. The only risk is the death of the small you in these situations. The other day, I was about to take my daughter to school and she asked if we could take the RV. We have a big RV. And I was like, sure. It was a very adventurous moment. She said, can we take the RV? And I said, sure. So we drove to her little school in this huge bus thing. And on the way there, I heard this part of my body just go, you should take her camping like a ton this summer. You should take her out in the RV and go camp and go have so much fun. And I heard the old remaining should part of me that would actually be a pretty responsible should that said, you should just stay home and get some sleep. But a louder sense of adventure came in and goes, really imagine the memories you'd make, who you are, and what should that remains in your body would be purged if you said yes to this, right? So it's starting to call to me to move to a new world of just major adventure for me and people around me, right? Some people are in stagnant situations only out of a should. If you're asking yourself, what should I do about this relationship? That's a sign. right? That you're not necessarily hearing the adventurous side of you and you're just staying in a should pattern. I should be in this so that I'm still like my parents were when they stayed together no matter what. Or I should be in this job because it's the responsible thing to do because my parents told me being responsible is bigger than my sense of freedom or sense of adventure, right? So if you're in a situation of mediocrity, you'll notice that only your should, I should stay in this, is what's keeping you there. So as your should dies, eventually your attachment to what you think you have to do to stay the old story is going to die too. And what's on the other side of that? A total free you, a total adventure, because the should that you used to grab onto is going to be gone. There's no should in your body anymore. It'll start to be, what do you want? And you'll notice that as you follow what you want and you don't have the old road that you have to grab onto of the should energy, life is going to mirror the abundant way that you live, the joyful, free way that you are. Every aspect of yourself that you create and become, life will mirror that. It'll see that you're not saying to life that you're an amalgam of choosing your highest calling and grabbing onto an old should. If you're both of those, life will mirror that to you. Okay, you're not really trusting me. You are a little bit, but you're still grabbing onto the old world. Okay, here's the match to that. Here's the person for that. Here's the job for that. Here's everything. And if you go, man, I really only have this one life, or if you're Buddhist, I have an infinite amount of lives, in both situations, you're totally free, right? You're free to live a joyous life and you don't have to hold on to the should energy anymore. And the should energy is dying anyway. So even if you grab it, it might be loud, but you barely have it. It's like your hand grabbing onto a cliff and you're on like the last finger. That's the should energy right now. It's loud, but it doesn't have control of you. Your only problem is you think it does. But I can reflect to you, as I've reflected to a lot of people in the last couple of weeks, I can see how loudly they think there is a should, but how much it does not have a grab on them. All you have to do is get present and listen to it and not cater to it. When the should says, do this, you can follow it, but it'll just be a little later that you go, never mind, it's do this. And you'll just keep being these shoulds that have no power and are not the right answer and keep proving to you that the should is wrong. You're just going to be here and watch it. What if it goes, you should do this. You better call them. You better fix this. You better go do that. You better start that job, whatever. And you just keep hearing it and you notice that it's coming from some place of panic and you just get present. Oh, I hear you that you're scared, little boy. I hear you that you're scared, little girl. I hear you that you're lost. And when you realize that you're still safe, if you don't follow the panicky should energy, it's going to lose its power even more and it's going to fall off. And then you will move from a free place. And the world is doing the same thing. Right? The world is doing the same thing. You will see that the world is mirroring you as you continue to move forward and say yes to an even higher level of you, an even higher level of what you want in life, a higher level of abundance, a higher level of relationships, a higher level of joy. You saying yes to the true aspect of what you are at the very best you can, right? What you can't control, you let go of. And what truly you can say yes to in this time, no matter what it is, no matter where you are, you have an opportunity to say yes to something slightly better than you've been in recently. You have the opportunity to have an adventurous, fulfilling, joyous summer. You have the opportunity to birth a new life for this planet and for yourself. You have an opportunity to show people around you, maybe your kids, maybe your nieces and nephews, maybe just friends, that they can be a butterfly on this planet too. This is such an exciting time, and all of our shoulds are just collectively falling off, and you can speed it up by not following the should energy and listening to the now. Life is about to change, and you're going to speed it up. Let's free ourselves. Let's feel joy. Let's feel free. Welcome to May. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that talk. And that was obviously from our Absolutely Everything Pass. And if you'd like to join us and have accountability, step into a new life right now, just so you know, you can get 1 year of the Absolutely Everything Pass for $2.99. That's literally $24 and change a month. and it will pay for itself over and over and over again. It's a great opportunity to truly step into committing to something so much bigger than what you're used to as yourself. Join us literally for $2.99. Usually 1 year is $7.95, but right now you can get it for $2.99. Passcode is water. Type in water and it's yours. You have 1 year of the Absolutely Everything Pass. It will hold you accountable. It'll take you to a higher life. It'll change a lot of things. I can't wait to see you. Join us. Come be with us. Sit in the hot seat. See you soon.